This is for the test 4.1 to 4.3, and it doesn't matter which version you have. If you are watching this, it's because there's something you're doing about the equation, so version A or version B. But many of you are having an issue with the back page. And right here, first of all, there are two different questions. These equations do not match these lines down here. So I apologize not putting question 1, question 2. Maybe that would have been helpful. But these are two different questions. And you're just trying to determine if the lines are parallel or perpendicular. Now, in order to determine if they're parallel or perpendicular, what do you know about parallel lines? And what do you know about perpendicular lines? Again, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect but form a 90-degree angle. So hopefully you're thinking if they're parallel, the reason they're parallel is because they have the same slope. And so what you need to do is to make sure that you're just comparing the slope of each of the lines. Now, in perpendicular is when it's the opposite reciprocal. So again, if the slope is, let's say 2, the opposite, so let's say the slope is 2, the perpendicular slope would be a negative 1/2. So you're looking for the opposite reciprocal or negative reciprocal. It just means it's the opposite reciprocal. So parallel has the same slope. So the parallel slope would also be 2. Now, in order to do that, you need to compare the slopes. Well, oh gosh, I messed up. This must be version A. Oh, I messed it up. Anyway, whatever version you have, it's the same thing, but different problems, of course. But the thing is that you have to make sure, in order to just pull the slope, it needs to be in slope-intercept form. So like line A, for whatever version this is, line A is in slope-intercept form, so you can see the slope right here is 5. 1 is not the slope here. You've got to change this equation to put it in slope-intercept form. Notice the y by itself. So you need to do some math here. Not really, you're not figuring things, you're just moving things away from the y. Now watch your signs when you do it. When you cross the equal sign, it's changing the sign of what it is now. So that's going to be a negative x. But then you still have to divide by 5. And you have to divide every term by 5. Here, think about what you have to move. But when you divide by this negative 10, you need to divide every term. But I would move everything first, then do the division. So down here on this version, look at which one is in slope-intercept form already. Well, line C is the only one that's in slope-intercept form. You've got to change these two into slope-intercept form. Then compare the slopes. Okay, so that's what you're doing up here. Now down here on the graph, to determine if they're parallel or perpendicular and to prove it, you just need to find what? You need to find the slope of each line. Now the letters are down here, B, C, A. Let's see on this one. This one, the letters are B, A, and C. So that's the line. So these are two different questions. So you need to find the slope of these lines. You don't need to put it in parallel, perpendicular equations or anything like that. You just need to find the slope and compare it that way. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Maybe you need to redo that back.